Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today, December 14th, 2025. And again, I'm so excited for today's presentation and podcast on food for the temple, from toxic to nourished, along with holiday recipes that are nourishing, that will feel good in our guts, our hearts, and just make it feels so good when we could give that nourishment not only to ourselves, but to our family, our loved ones, our church members, our friends, our fellowship. It just bringing this nutrition back into our lives. And along with that, we have to understand what are those toxins in the food so we can better stay away from the toxins and make nourishing choices instead. And so I'm just so excited. We're going to have a lot of great things to go over, and even a guest that has popped in to share. So I'm just so excited for that as well. And let's see here. Okay. I think this view will work for you guys. In case I have any audio to present. So just so excited for today's food for the temple, toxic nourishment. Thank you guys so much for being with me here today. And then, so what is our map for today? We're going to talk a little bit about our cleansing, regenerating, and thrive lifestyle, toxic and nourishing foods. We're going to read some scriptures today from the King James Version Bible and the Ethiopian Bible, which I'm so excited. Brother Ray G is here, and he's going to read that scripture. He brought his Ethiopian Bible with him today. And then we're going to go over Nourishing Holiday Recipes. And my name is Gloria Sharlein. Thank you guys so much for being here with me today. And before we get in, I want to say thank you for everyone joining. We are streaming to Rumble, Locals, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Telegram. So thank you for joining us on whatever platform through all of those. And if you are on any of those platforms and having trouble, some platforms are censoring my podcast. So if you're having any trouble, I could always guarantee Rumble. Thank you, Rumble, for not ever censoring any of my podcasts. So if you're having any trouble, come over and join us on Rumble. You can sign up for a free account, or even if you don't have an account, you can still join our podcast live. But sign up for that free account on Rumble to enjoy our chat options, where I can see all of your chat and answer any questions that you guys may have along the way or at the end. Please put them in the chats. I can see the chats from all the podcasts over here. So hopefully, if you have any questions, drop them along the line. And also, all links and any research that are done in any of my podcasts can also be found in the descriptions in Rumble, in the chats. But always, Rumble will have any link information, any of the full viewing of my podcast, or any of that's not coming through. So don't forget to sign up for your free account at Rumble. And thank you so much for Moon Made Botanicals for being a sponsor of my podcast. And I just absolutely love Moon Made Botanicals. You can get face creams, lotions meant for men and women, all kinds of natural beauty products and cleansing products, teas, herbal products, just more stuff that we could do 100% natural and get away from any kind of toxins is just going to be that much of a benefit from us. So Mume Botanicals also offers discount code Gloria, so you guys can get your 20% off with discount code Gloria and support your health while supporting Hidden Knowledge Uncensored podcast. And I'm so grateful to you guys for making that brave choice to go all natural while supporting me and free speech. It really does make a big difference for all of us. So thank you so much. Now, getting into our cleanse, regenerate, and thrive lifestyle, we always want to start by praying and meditating, exercise, sleep, grounding, and sauna. They're all so essential to life. Parasite and liver cleansing. We're learning more about liver cleanses, and we know what parasites do and why it's so important to get those out of the body. Urine therapy, chlorine dioxide, red light, DMSO, and energy technology. We're just seeing so many people turn things around, including myself. And so we're taking deep dives into all of this stuff, and then we're focusing more on clean food and, but it's also important to structure water and why it's so important that we eat clean food. Fasting, and here it's a little cut off, sorry guys, herbs and nutrients, which is also part of our natural way of food. Nicotine, again, also found in fruits and vegetables, and reducing stress. And all of these things will lead to reduced inflammation. And that therefore we start reducing the inflammation, taking the toxins out of the body. Our bodies do cleanse and regenerate and thrive on their own. So it's just so a blessing that we're able to do this. And again, if you guys want any more information on this, you could always email me at hiddenknowledgeuncensored@gmail.com. And again, that email is in the description below. I would love to do transformation coaching with you. And there's always more coming out with my coaching, and it's always growing and growing. So please email me, though, if you're interested now. I am helping clients now, and I would love for you to be the next transformation. And then to start out again, we went over last week, Brother Ray G gifted me with my second mission gifted scripture, and Jeremiah 30:17. This is out of the New King James Version. It says, "For I will restore health unto thee, and I shall heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord, because they called thee an outcast, saying, This is Zion, who no man seeketh after." And it's just so true, though. But even if you stand out, if you know that you're doing what's meant, what our God-given divinity and protection, truths, all of it, when we live in that way of life, it doesn't matter if we're an outcast, but God will restore and heal. We just have to follow him and Jesus. But they did make the way, and we can see how God made the way. And so now getting into what is nourishment. Well, if we look at to Genesis 1:29 out of the New King James Version, it says, "And God said, See, I have given you every herb that yields seed, which is on the face of the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed, to you it shall be for food." And so our fruits and vegetables are more than just fruit and vegetables. And the Bible tells us we're supposed to look for fruit with seeds, and that shall be used for food. So when we take a deeper dive into that, looking in seeded fruit versus non-seeded fruit. Seeded fruit is God-given versus non-seeded fruit is genetically modified and made by man. Very things to look for. There are all kinds of seeded versus non-seeded, God-given versus non-genetically modified fruits and vegetables. When you start getting into genetically modified, and it'll be further in the podcast, we start adding metals, plastics, nanotechnology, mRNA, things that shouldn't be in our body start to come into our body when we choose things that are not of God, including non-seeded fruits and vegetables. Now, the big things that I see all over the store that's like the hardest things to find non-seed or to find seeded would be like grapes. If you look in the store, almost all the grapes you see on the shelf are seedless grapes, which mean they're genetically modified. They're not God-given grapes, so we can't eat the genetically modified fruits and vegetables. Watermelons, that's another big one. Seedless watermelons are everywhere. It's so hard unless you go find a farmer, and that's why it's so important to find the farms in your area, so you can get seeded grapes, seeded watermelons. Those are God-grown fruits and vegetables from the earth. Apples and pears, another things that come with seeds, as you see here. So you don't want the seedless options. And we can move into what is gluten. Well, Proverbs 23:21 tells us that for the drunkard and for the gluten will come to poverty. And it's so sad that we see this. When you go, I've had to, when I was sick, I had to use the food banks. And what do they give you? They give you the pork, they give you the gluten breads, they give you pastas, all the things that are being genetically modified, all the things that are not good. And that's what they're serving to the poor. And so we have to, I know a lot of us say that we don't have money to buy better products, but it's just something. That's why, adopt fasting into life and also fast and choose to spend money on better food to nourish your body rather than adding a toxin to your body. And so we could take deeper dives now into the gluten, and I could show you here um, like choosing gluten free. Just because it says gluten free now doesn't mean that it's something that's good for you. As you can see here, whole food, gluten free, multi grain bread, like the label says that it's best for you. But as you can see here, bam, water. What else? Modified tapioca starch. Whenever you see modified in the list of ingredients, now we're starting to talk about metal, nanotechnology, plastics, things that are not made for us to have in our temples at all. And so you can see here the cornstarch, the seed oils are bad. We have things we can't pronounce, dextrose, modified cellulose. Start getting it, the cellulose gum, all those gums, yeast. We know the yeast is also being genetically modified. And so there's tons of genetically modified poisons and toxins in this bread. So you never can just go by what the label says. You have to read that list of ingredients and choose actual things without modified heavy metals and toxins. And so what does that look like? Well, corn flour, an ancient grain, ancient unprocessed grains is what you want to look for. Corn flours, coconut flours, oat flours, almond flours. And again, just like everything else, they make almond flours with modified ingredients, almond flours with heavy metals and chemicals. And so that won't be the almond flour you choose. You want to buy an almond flour that just says almonds. That's all you want. And so anything, all the added everything is overcoming that almond flour, and it's all those chemicals are going to be way worse for you and hit your body worse than choosing an just almond flour. We're not meant to have all those chemicals and heavy metals and toxins in our body. And so what to keep an eye out for when it comes to toxic bread and gluten, you want to look at the modified wheats. Even when it says 100% wheat, we're still having toxins come in from the air, water, and food. The air, water, and crops, who's watering those crops where the grain is coming from. What soil is being used, because then now we're getting more toxins in the grains and such into the vegetables. That's why it's really key that you have to know your farmer, know where your flours are coming from. Are you having any additives in your flour? So keep an eye out for modified gluten-frees. The brewer's yeast, like Dr. Group says, very manipulated, creates mold that breathes in the body. I've seen and watched videos on that. If you guys watched Healing for the Ages 2024, I believe they showed that. And then, so your flour and grains are being manipulated. You have to look for ancient grains like corn flour and more, coconut flour, the oat flour, and almond flour. And I just want to say thank you so much to Dr. Judy Mikovits and Cardio Miracle being a sponsor of this show. You can get your Cardio Miracle with the link below and supporting our podcast. And this is just such a great product. I absolutely love Cardio Miracle myself. So does my family. And it just does so much good for you. Fills that body with oxidated, fills the body oxidated into the cells of each cell in your body. It just does so much, not even just for the product for your heart, but it just does so much to support your immune system and more. So get your guys' Cardio Miracle and use my link below, along with catching the my Hidden Knowledge interview playlist is where you can find that interview we did with Dr. Judy last year. And moving in now to what are other toxins hidden into our food. You guys watch out for that natural flavor and artificial flavors. When you learn about what those really are, they're spraying chemicals to make something taste like an orange. And that's like the artificial flavors. And the natural flavors, spraying chemicals to make somebody think it tastes that way. But what's the chemical really doing? It's making them addicted. So they come back and back. And there's videos, beautiful Dr. Artist's daughter shared a lovely presentation on that this last Healing for the Ages on showing the scientists doing that process. And they say that they're making people addicted. So they come back and keep buying the product. So it's like, what are drugs? Our food. Our food is being used as a drug, making you addicted to it to keep coming back. And there's no nutrition value. It's just putting toxins into your body. And so our food is more than just food. Our food is either going to be nourishing you or it's going to be creating toxins in your body. And so that's why we have to get all of these things out of your life. Natural flavors, artificial flavors. When we eat processed foods, now you're taking on more nanotechnology, mRNA, heavy metals. Now we're eating foods from where they're sprayed in the wheat crops and eating Bill Gates wheat. Now you're going to also getting all of those chemicals from the chemtrails, parasites. When we choose to eat pork, when we choose to eat processed foods, parasites are all in that. And so that's why our food is more than just food. And we really have to start analyzing and making those conscious decisions on what kind of nourishment do we want to be giving ourselves. It's very important that we make good, conscious decisions for everything. And then what is a nourishing sugar? Would be natural sugars, like honey. Monk sugar is a good sugar substitute. Fruit is a great substitute. You can mash bananas up and use that as your sugar when you're baking and such. 100% stevia, because stevia is something big where you see tons of additives. So if it's not 100% stevia, it's not a good option. Coconut sugars, another great option for while you're baking. And it's, again, more than just sugar. It's, are you putting toxins in your body or are you not? And really, our body is not made to have lots of sugar. So we don't need to have sugar really anyway. It's something don't buy sugar anymore. And I use these natural things in my recipes instead. And so then what does it look like, John? Non-verse genetically modified dairies. And so here's another really good example of two almond milks. Now they both are going to tell you they're organic. They both look great on the labels because people just grab off the shelf without looking at the ingredients, and they count on that. and they know because you keep buying their products, so they know that that's what you guys are doing. And so, but if you, I look at everything now that I buy it, and now I'm cutting out all those toxins now that I'm paying attention. And so you can't go by price. You just have to get what is the non-toxic best option for you. And here we see on the right, you have Whole Foods organic unsweetened almond milk. And there you got a list full of toxins, chemicals, things you can't pronounce. It's clearly not a organic, non-toxic. What they consider organic doesn't mean that it doesn't have chemicals. So that's why you have to really pay attention. And then here on the left side, you see the Califa Farms organic almond milks. And this is the choice that I go with. This is the almond milk. If I get almond milk, they have a really good clean coconut milk as well. And as you see there, the ingredients: water, organic almonds, and sea salt. And that's it. No chemicals. And that's the difference between eating a non genetically modified diet and eating a genetically modified diet. And see, that has nothing to do with being vegan or non-vegan. When people just think about the diet trends and not get into the specifics, that's where people are still collecting toxins. Because you could be non-dairy, choosing the almond milk on the right, filling your body full of metal and heavy metals, but calling yourself a vegan. It's the same thing with the bread. You could say you're a vegan, eating the toxic bread, filling yourself full of yeast, mold, chemicals, nanotech, parasites, but then saying, oh, but I'm vegan. And not making the link of why am I still hurting? Why am I not getting nourished? And this is why, because you're still filling your body full of chemicals, toxins, parasites, all the heavy metals that our body is not made to have, that will store our lifetime. That'll what eventually will lead to inflammation, cancers. But they're not gonna. When do they ever tell us about our diet? Does the doctor ever talk to you about the diet? No. And that's so unfortunate. And so it's more than just counting calories. We didn't even go over any of the calories because that is not the most important thing. And I've learned that myself because I used to think about calories a lot, even as a weightlifter. But then I learned it's beyond calories, macros, and all of that. It's really, especially moving into this time where we're being poisoned to death, we have to get down to where are all these poisons coming from and cut them all out. And our food is being toxic. Our food is such poison. That's why in America we're obese. Our children are obese and not healthy. And that's because the food we are allowing them to eat, the food we are giving them, is toxic. And so we just need to turn this around, really get having conversations with your children and making these choices. It really does change so much. And you'll see them start getting nourished. You'll see them health problems going away. Adopting this for not only you and your family, but for our children, it is the best thing. I'm so grateful that I've been able to do it. And so now it gives you guys things to go and clean up your kitchens a little bit more, clean up your food pantries and your fridges, and get them without all of these extra toxins and metals. And you'll see the differences. Come back and tell me how it is going to changing all of this stuff. Let us know. We would love to hear from it. Let us know in the chat right now. I'd love to hear how changing your diet affected you and your family as well. And now I'm so excited. We are going to move in to Brother Ray G. He has come on to share some scripture with us. And I'm so excited because he brought his Ethiopian Bible with him. And so he is going to share a verse out of Maccabean. I'm so excited to hear it. And so now I'm going to turn it over to Brother Ray G. 1 second, guys. ready? Oh, here you can see.
Okay.
Here, wait one second. There you go, Brother Ray.
Okay, hi. So reading from the Ethiopian Bible on 1 Maccabean 5, verses 22 to 23. And it says, "And him sent him forth toward crops on earth, and him fed them, him plantation grains, as him have totally loved them, him cherish them, feeling the honey that firmed up like unto a rock."
What does that mean to you, Brother Ray? What to you?
That he's given us what we need on earth. Everything good that we need for ourselves on earth, because what's on earth is in us already, for us to, like what you're saying and what you're teaching the people out there, in terms of, you're giving them and sharing information on what to see, what to look, and how to read it, how to read between the lines. And I think that is such an important factor, because people need to know. People need to know, and and you can either take it, oh, they're going to be lying to us. Yes, but it's more satisfying when you actually saw the truth and the real fact in front of you, because others are sharing it now.
Yeah.
And that's really the proof. You're planting the seed, which is basically on the earth, and it's up to them to take advantage of the harvest or the spoils. Yeah. Thank you for having me on the show.
You're welcome, Brother AG. Thank you so much for coming on and reading from your Ethiopian Bible. That's really exciting.
It's really interesting. It's got 208 books, 88 books of the original printed edition, and then 120 books of the apocryphal digital, I guess, edition. It includes the missing apocrypha, and the Book of Enoch and Jubilees is in this book.
Oh,
It's deep. It's deep. It's because it's also translated like back then I guess they spoke Aramaic or something like that, or whatever language they were speaking. And so this book right here, I highly recommend. It's addicting. So yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Oh, you're welcome, Sister Gloria.
And everybody, you guys can follow Brother AG. Where can we follow you?
Well, you can actually you can follow me at on TikTok under Brother Ray G, with an exclamation point in the end, and you can see my videos. A lot of them are kind of silly, just music in the background. And if nothing else, I hope that the music that I play in the background, I hope you're dancing to it or something like that. And you don't have to watch me, but listen to the music.
Oh, so brilliant. Yes. Follow Brother Ray G on his podcast channel. And let him know that you saw him over on Hidden Knowledge Uncensored with Gloria.
Yep.
And he'll be back with more. Yes. And we would love to have you read more from your Ethiopian Bible with us for sure, too.
Yep. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Brother Ray G.
Okay.
Go follow his TikTok videos and get some inspiration. We just did some TikTok footage yesterday, actually. You could go see it on his TikTok channel, and I'll be sharing it on my channel too. And so why does it matter now? Benefits of eating healthy and why it matters is that it supports nourishment. Eating healthy supports nourishment, cleansing, and regeneration of your temple as God intended. And if that's just not why it matters wrapped in one sentence, I don't know what is, but that is so important. And we don't think of food that way. And we need to start thinking about food that way again, just like our grandparents taught us, and eating from the garden. And so we just need to get back into those roots. And thank you, everybody, for purchasing your gold backs and your Alpine Gold account, which is not used with your social security number, therefore untraceable. You can get your gold backs, gold, silver, and accounts and more for you and your family. It is always good to have another source of income that is not fiat generated. And so it's just good to have all of your options, have all of your piggy banks and ready. And also, I love having my gold backs because they are light. It's not like holding a gold brick, but it's made out of gold, so therefore it holds its weight value also. But they are they go up with the value of gold as they are gold, and so you can have gold backs that are increasing in value without holding that weight. And so it's just beautiful. I absolutely love my gold backs. And so you could get your gold backs and accounts in the link below at alpinegold.com/Gloria. And I hope you guys are enjoying those too out there. And now we're getting towards the end of our podcast. The moment everybody's been waiting for is, what are those beautiful holiday recipes that just felt so good in the stomach, felt good in the gut, felt good with my family, and therefore it just feels extra so good in the heart when we know that we're giving our family nourishing food rather than toxic food. And the best thing that we could do, you could take your favorite holiday recipes that you already make and just substitute with, instead of that refined sugar, get unrefined using honey, coconut oil. Using those things are the best way. You can just still make the things you love and just using intentional, God-given products instead of man-made chemicals. And man, these holiday recipes are just such a blessing. I absolutely love them. And as we also talk about recipes, this Christmas I am going to just cook a minimal Christmas with a nourishment, and then really focus on spending that time together in love and fellowship, and read the Bible together, and pray for everyone, pray for those we love, pray for the world, and just spend the time together. I think that is also a big part of spending that day together. Instead of, we don't have to cook all day, but have a nourishment meal while fellowshipping and spending the time with the ones you love. That is the most important. And so one of the great things I made that I absolutely love is a green bean casserole. And so the ingredients are the most important part. You have a pound of organic green beans. Look for those number 9s. Rinse them with your distilled water. Trim off those edges. Use some Himalayan salt, pink black pepper. If you have another salt you like to use, that's just fine. Just not table salt, because we learned in that last podcast we did on salt that table salt only has 2 minerals, 0 to 2 minerals in it, where Himalayan salt had it in the 70s amounts of minerals. That's why pink Himalayan salt is a better choice to use than table salt. And so there's more minerals in the pink Himalayan salt. There's even more minerals in Celtic salt over pink Himalayan salt. And then so we're making conscious choices about the oils we use. Avocado oil is a good oil. You can medium Sharlein minced onions, 2 garlic cloves, finely chopped mushrooms, and then some all-purpose flour, garbanzo bean flour, or you can use your icorn flours here, your coconut flours, any flour that is unprocessed and 100% natural. That's what the flour that you want to choose there. You could substitute any flours. And then also using 3/4 cup of organic vegetable broth, 1 cup plain almond milk or unsweetened dairy milk of your choice, again, without chemicals. And then 1.5 cups of a crispy onion. That recipe is also coming up here. And then we have the instructions on how to make that, but I'm not going to go fully into the instructions. I'm going to let you guys go ahead and use this. Go back to it when you're making it. You could pause and rewind the video, as well as in Rumble and across your platforms. You should see links on these recipes where I got these ideas from. Some of the recipes I substituted myself. I'll show you where I substituted the flour here. Even I use the icorn flour and oat flour. I use half and half, icorn flour and half oat flour for recipes. And then there's a little bit more of those constructions continued, and then how making those crispy onions on top out of real onions and real flour, real food, without using dairy too. So I absolutely loved this recipe. It was so delicious. It came out so yummy. And I made the holiday healing salad, and I made this for Thanksgiving with my church family on our Wednesday community group, and I made it healing Friendsgiving salad since we're having a Friendsgiving. So I made a healing Friendsgiving salad, and oh, it was so delicious. This salad is so good. I think I might have to make this again for Christmas. It's just so yummy. And so using any of these recipes for any holidays, fellowship, friends, my potlucks, I try to look for these healthy recipes now, and I bring healing foods to everybody, nourishing foods. So I'm excited about that. And this one, as you can see, the ingredients are butternut squash, Brussels sprouts, maple syrup. Oh, that's another good one. 100% maple syrup with no additives is also another sugar substitute you can use. Sea salt or your pink Himalayan salt, Celtic salt, whatever your good natural salt high in minerals is for you. You can 3 cups of leafy greens. You can use romaine. You can use spinach, a mixture of all. A quarter cup loosely packaged sage or parsley leaves, tablespoon of fresh lemon juice, half a tablespoon of raw honey, and a third cup of your cranberry orange sauce, which is coming up next and really good. And so for the complete directions of this salad, go ahead and check that link in the description below. And then moving into that cranberry sauce that you can use as your topper on top of your dressing, your salad. You can also use this as a fresh cranberry sauce if you're a person that eats meat. And that is something I meant to talk and have a slide on, is if you do eat meat, choosing grass-fed meat, knowing the farm where you're buying your meat. All of these things are just so important because they're injecting the animals with mRNA and nanotechnology. And so that's what, like, if you're still eating meat, you need to make sure that you're not getting any of that stuff, or further cleansing. Our body also takes 3 days or more to process meat, where in 24 hours we process fruits and vegetables. So that's another reason why meat is harder for our body to process. And so just be aware of all of these things too while you're eating, and choosing humanely raised meats over, just the genetically modified meats. That's what's happening with everything else. All the foods you're eating genetically modified, or you're eating non-genetically modified. And so this cranberry sauce, now making these recipes, we're not eating any processed foods anymore for the holidays. And so I'm just so grateful for that. I never really liked the canned cranberry around the holiday that you guys get. And man, if you look at the ingredients in that cranberry sauce, they are so bad for you. It's so bad. And so now this recipe right here gets everybody off of the canned processed foods. And so it's just so beautiful when you can do this and get off of and now I actually enjoy cranberry sauce, because when it's real cranberry sauce, man, it tastes so delicious. I absolutely loved this on the salad. And anywhere you could put it on leftovers or anything like that, and just incorporate it into anything. You could put it on top of some of the homemade desserts you make with good acorn flour. Put a little of this cranberry sauce on top. It's going to be divine. So this one has cranberries, zest from one orange, and then maple syrup. Zest and juice from the orange, maple syrup, ground cloves optional, and cinnamon sticks also optional. And more of those directions again from the link in Rumble. Here's another one I really liked, and on the link in Rumble is the where I got this original recipe, but instead of the cauliflower potato that the recipe called for, I just used icorn flour. I may have split it half oat, half icorn, or you can use one or the other just fine, or however you choose to use that substitution is fine, as long as it's not a modified flour. You want to get to ancient grains, all natural flours, no additives. And so this mushroom gravy called for 6 cups of mushrooms, a diced onion, 2 garlic cloves, sun-dried tomatoes, or any tomatoes of your choice would be just fine. Half a teaspoon of olive oil, an eighth to a quarter cup of icorn flour is what I used. I just, to get it thicker. And then an eighth teaspoon or 1 dash of thyme, sage, and rosemary. And when you guys start ordering from your farmers, I notice around this time of year, the farmers have like a nice little an herb blend kit. So it's full of thyme, sage, and rosemary, like those main ingredients for the holiday recipes. So you could look at for your farmers, keep an eye out, get a small herb kit. And it was just so cost effective. And it was so beautiful to have the real plants to add to these recipes. It makes a really big difference. You guys will absolutely love that too. And these recipes were the absolute best. So I hope you guys make these recipes, start substituting in what works best for you. Start substituting. Instead of using cans, make those meals yourself. Instead of using processed flour and sugars, get icorn flour, get oat flour, use monk sugar, use honey. Make those conscious decisions, and I promise you, your health will feel better, which leads to the family feeling better, our hearts feeling better, our minds being able to clear up and feel better, getting those proper nourishment while cutting out the toxins. And I'm just so grateful. And I see Brother Sage out there with Talk, Teach, Truth. So you could give him a follow over here on Rumble as well with Talk, Teach, Truth. Help him build up all his channels across all his platforms. And so grateful to have you, Brother Ray, on here. Thank you so much for joining us. And everyone, I am just truly blessed for everyone going also to my link tree and seeing all of our sponsors making those good conscious decisions to get more healthy 100% natural herb and supplements rather than products like from Walmart with vitamins full again of toxins. Buy your vitamins with Dr. Groot, buy your vitamins with Jonathan and Well of Life, and get away from toxins. Grab a grounding mat at Earthing and some red light devices with Red Life. Deoxycare and chlorine dioxide mouth products and healing products and more Deoxycare. And with Deoxycare, you can use coupon code Gloria5 and get a discount with them as well. And so not only are you supporting your health and your wealth, but you also support my podcast and keep me free and independent while bringing you guys current research and knowledge that will change all of our lives for the better. And so I'm just so grateful. Thank you again, everybody, for sponsoring your health and sponsoring our sponsors here at Hidden Knowledge Uncensored. And keep on purchasing with our shop because it does keep me going. It motivates me. It just really shows that, we are making a difference here. And it does help us all continue to keep going. And thank you guys. Thank you, everybody, for being a part of this presentation. I hope you guys loved it as much as I did. I hope you find it useful and let it continue to change your life, making those decisions to choose actual all natural and no more chemical based, no more processed foods. Every choice you make matters, and live by the 80-20 rule. We're not make 80% good choices while allowing yourself maybe to fall off the wagon 20% of the time. But when you're making 80% good choices, your body can still heal and cleanse and detox. But when we're just making every day, putting in 90 to 95% of the food is processed and has toxins without even getting that nourishment, it is creating a horrible environment. And another thing that I didn't get too much into, and we have talked about in previous podcasts, is the pH level of the fruits and vegetables you choose. Choosing high alkaline fruits and vegetables is also going to help you heal, where meat is acidic. Meat is very acidic. And so it's you parasites, heavy metals, all live in an acidic environment. And so you want to stay away from acidity and get your body more alkaline. And we can do that through fruits and vegetables. So look at some of those past podcasts I've had on pH as well. And we'll talk about that more coming up too. And so thank you so much, everybody. Go to my link tree for more research and information. Choose health, choose life, and transform yourself. And I'm just so grateful to each and every single one of you for being with me here, for being my friend, for taking the bravery to learn and apply in your lives. It's so beautiful to watch my life not only change, but everybody out there. You guys are also making bold choices and changing your lives. And when I see that, I see God working, and I can't be stopped. You guys help me know that I'm doing the right thing. And when I see others transform their life, man, that's really like the biggest blessing, is when we can help each other that way. So thank you so much, everybody, taking your brave steps. Continue to make your healthy choices. Nourish yourself, nourish your family, choose health, choose life, and transform yourselves. God bless you guys. Keep an ear out and then an eye out. Our next podcast coming up, we're going to do some more on the transhumanism agenda. We're going to do more on the ocean, on salt and acidity. And those are some big ones I have coming up, along with some interviews. So keep on keeping on. Stay focused. Stay on Hidden Knowledge Uncensored. And we will see you next week. And God bless you guys, and have a blessed week. I truly am grateful for each and every single one of you. And you all are loved and perfect in God's eyes. And so just always remember that too. So I love you. We'll see you soon. Bye. Be blessed.